Yeah, okay, so let's start this this evening's drawing session with a little warm-up in form of a antagonistic character head. I'll be going for a let's say a male antagonist. Now, so it's going to be a much more, well, comic-y or comic-like character. Let's see what we can do. So, okay, the person we are looking for is sort of, well, it has to be some kind of power, needs to be balanced, and in terms of he may not be weaker than the protagonist, which we haven't defined yet, but well, we could say or define it that there shouldn't be an antagonist which is simple to overcome, since that would be boring. And maybe I should readjust the camera over here. This is also another test for the stream, since there is my upstream is a bit challenged sometimes, but I think, well, we are about somewhere around 2000 kilobyte per second, so this should work, though the resolution is not will not be absolutely stellar, but I think it will be okay. Just hope we are staying in the green here. And well, where was I? Well, yes, of course, the antagonist. So we need an antagonist which is at least on par with our protagonist, otherwise the story would be boring. Remember or imagine if you've got if you get a protagonist and he's just waltzing through the story because all the obstacles within the story, including the antagonist and antagonistic forces, are so easy to overcome, then the whole story would be boring. So, okay, maybe I'll switch to draw only, so that would be better. And now the question is, well, how do we choose the form of the antagonistic head for this one? Let's have an evil sorcerer, something like that, for a, well, maybe fantasy novel or graphic novel, comic, whatever. So, alright, I think it would be rather slim, a bit like that. We could, for simplicity's sake, just try to make the head look a bit more like a skull. So somewhere like here would be the border of the skull, and we could darken the area over there, making it look more like a skull. Then the nose itself, if we keep it a bit shorter, meaning the distance here, this one, if we shorten this, then it will be also a bit closer to looking like a skull. And then the difference, or the distance between the nose and the mouth, so this one here also, if we increase the distance here, it will also look, well, not so pleasant, let's say. And that's what we want from an archetypical, from the look of an archetypical antagonist. So what else could we do? Well, there are other methods we could use. We could try to make him look very different from a human character, and taking some properties from maybe insects or something like that, and put that into the antenna, into his anatomy. I won't do that right now. This is just I'll stick to the range of morphological properties we can get from just the human anatomy. So, and roughly this could be someone like that. Of course, when you're looking for a really creative solution, you wouldn't go into this detail, and first off you'd go and start with a whole variety of thumbnails, meaning thumbnails meaning small sketches and images, so we could iterate, or we could produce a lot of designs in a very short amount of time. This is more like a generic type of character. There's the UI problem again, switching involuntarily between the pencil and the eraser in Procreate with Apple Pencil 2. Still gotta get used to this. And removing some of the construction lines over there. Now, okay, we wanted sort of a antagonistic feature here. Let's have some bushy eyebrows. As I said earlier, maybe this is going to be an evil wizard, something like that, with the evil eyebrows. Anybody know or remembers Mr. Yeah, what was his name? Weigler? Doesn't matter. So, okay, now then we could have a closer look at the eyes. Now over here, there's the nose, and the area we're going to darken will be this. So it's the part of the anatomy that will also be, well, be removed, or will start to look darker once a person dies. And that's why we are not feeling so pleasant if somebody looks like somebody is, well, almost dead. So if you're keeping the eyes like this and not filling the area right here with the iris and the pupil, and this would also add to a, well, at least to a weird experience, a weird looking for the words, to a weird not experience, I mean appearance. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. So removing some construction lines over here, something like that. And now let's make him a bit older and even thinner. Some shadow here. Now, and maybe the expression of the face is a bit too relaxed. So if we get a prototypical antagonist, I guess we expect him to be angry or something like that. So I'll change that a bit. Remove the eyebrows again. This wasn't what we need, and rather have them somewhere along these lines positioned. Now let's go take this, And so this is just a sketch. Let's go here. If anybody has questions, I would be glad if I may answer them. Then they will pop up here in the chat window, but nobody posed a question yet, so I'll just continue drawing right now. Okay, that has a bit different over there. Okay, so let's darken this area also. You might also put some violet in the area around the eyes, making him look even more like a corpse. So this crease over here, and then we get the upper lip, or the area of the upper lip, or above the upper lip, and maybe we are adding some more signs of age here, and a very small, thin mouth. That looks a bit more antagonistic. So then we are also adding more creases in the silhouette over here. So something like that. There would be the upper lids, and well, who needs eyelashes when you're evil? There will be no dust daring to come into your eyes, so we don't need that, at least not now. Okay, could become some sort of a lich king or something like that. Undead magician, maybe. Is it lich or lich, or well, I get to look that up, I guess. So there we are, having a prototypical kinda sorta antagonist, just as a rather quick sketch. And well, let's add some polish with that. This one also, and maybe darken the eyebrows and having that a bit more emphasized, darker, kind of Ernie and Bert, the Bert style. Is it Ernie and Bert in English in Sesame Street? Guess I've got to check this out once again. So now, where's the light coming from? If it's just if you just want to define the outlines and the rough sketch, then this would serve as a first idea, just to communicate what the rough idea of this character might be. If we want to give a bit more atmosphere to the image, I'll start and say, okay, we've got an antagonist here, a quote-unquote evil character, and the idea to make him more evil, or looking quote-unquote evil, would be to position the light source below him, just like that. If there's the light source, then it shines up, just like anybody attending a barbecue, a bonfire in the middle of the night, telling stories or something like that, might have seen. Having a light source below you is unconventionally. Usually the light, at least in the day, comes from above, so that gives some kind of a eerie, creepy feeling to the whole scene. and when the light comes from below, then we've got on the other side, we've got the shadow. So that's how we'd communicate that. Let's add the shadow up here. Maybe increase the size, so this is more like an area I'm filling here. That's better. Stop that. Let's get the eraser. And now try this again. God, I really need daily practice. So I paused drawing for quite some time. So there's one. The whole streaming idea was to get myself drawing again. So I won't decline into, well, not being able to draw. Okay, so this one, then the shadow on the upper lid, the shadow on the lower lid on this area over here, and this shadow would be false, so we need it here, and there would also be, that would also be darker. Anyway, also in terms of ambient occlusion, because there's this is rather deep inside the object. If you see the inner angle of the eye right here, then the probability of some light ray coming right there is much lower than a light ray hitting here. So that's why it's, in general, these areas won't get that much light and are therefore darker. The idea of ambient occlusion is coming, of course, from 3D rendering, at least the word itself. I'm pretty sure the idea itself has been explored by artists and draftsmen much earlier. Okay, so now the eyebrows are casting shadows, so the area right above will also be darker. And I'm going to darken this one here, this area, because of the rather male anatomy. And then I'm continuing to darken the areas not getting the light from the light source below him. Okay, now let's have a bit more. Yeah, okay. Get a bit more of the area over here. So we've got this. It's a bit flaky, spotty over there. I really got to. I need more practice with this program. Okay, so this one, but I'm working on it. Over there. Now we'll have cast shadow also here, at least if the ear gets some light from the directly from the light source, and this would also maybe catch some light as opposed to this part. Whew, okay, then these parts here will also be darker. This one over here. Let's flip it and check for errors. So, okay, it's not that terrible. Okay. Some auto flip feature with a timer would be nice in Procreate. So you would be forced to see your errors ahead of the moment where you remember that flipping might be a good idea. For I am regularly losing myself in drawing or in the drawing activity, and then every once in a while I get the idea, oh, we should check this flipped, but then again, maybe I should have remembered that earlier. And if a timer feature would be present, then maybe I could save some time and correct errors much earlier before I did some more some other work depending on the erroneous properties I've already added so far. Well, maybe they'll add it some time later. We'll see. So now the upper part here. Then of course we'll have some gradient within the lower lid. In this area here below the eyes. The darkness over here. Could increase this over here. Let's get a bit more and more. So he's really dark and evil. Okay. Let's get this done over here. And this might be a bit darker, though, because it's closer to the light source, or will be closer to the light source. I won't turn this part into or I won't display a shadow that deep over there. On the other hand, this part can be much darker, and there below the ear there will be cast shadows from the chin. Is it chin? Kiefer in English? Oh. It would be kin. This is Kiefer. Oh, well, got to look that up as well. So, something like that. Ah, nope, that was too much. I'm really wondering if the software over here, the YouTube Studio, registers myself as a user. It's always one, well, not always, but often one user online. But maybe that's just me. Sounds a bit sad, but well, perhaps the users will increase. We will see if that attracts any more attention, though the field is pretty overrun on YouTube. Well, we see. Okay, so there we go. It's overcrowded. Everybody is making drawing tutorials and stuff, and well, never mind. That is just for fun over here. So, yeah, just darken this. Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, some sort of wicked, evil magician, priest, whatever. Maybe a bit like the Kali priest from Indiana Jones. I don't know. Kalima. Okay, that's how we could end up with our sketch of a rather generic antagonist. There are no other specified requirements for this character. This was just for fun, and well, now we might have a look at the kilobit per second is somewhere around 2000. I guess I need a oh, it's really dropping now. I guess I need some upgrade for my internet connection, but all right. Okay, where are we? Where's the total time? I don't. Oh, almost at 30 minutes. So, yeah, promised another look at the app I found this weekend, which will be Nomad, and I'll be switching to that over here, and it's directly here. So that's the logo or the icon, and here we've got the interface, and well, it's almost like, well, a bit like other sculpting applications if you've seen them, but on the iPad I found this one to be very accessible, though it's, as far as other YouTubers taught or talked about, it's a bit lacking in features when compared to what's the name of the other one? Forge? Irgendwie sowas, something like that. But everything that actually is implemented is also accessible, and that's, in my opinion, a very nice thing to have in such an app. So, okay, let's have a look at the features. We've got a little ball right there. The lighting can easily be changed. Right over here we've got a so-called PBR shader. I've got no idea what the abbreviation stands for. Got to look that up as well. But we can change the look of the lighting, or the lighted sphere over here, having an environment like that, or this one. And let's stick with this one for now. And then you can change the view and have it either perspective, more like if this, yeah, right? Okay, because of the object being a ball right now, or a sphere, we don't see much of an effect here. But when you say, okay, perspective in a extreme way, this way, we would have some kind of fisheye, and on the other hand, this would almost be orthographic. So just switch that over to orthographic, and then we really get an orthographic view on the object. I'd prefer to model it like that. So then we've got over here and sort of an outliner of all elements within the scene, and we could add some other objects over here, box, sphere, and the like. And then there's the kind of mesh or topology of the object. Right now we've got a multi-resolution mode for the topology. We can adjust the resolution with this slider over here. So I reduced it to 3, now reduce it to 2, to 1, and so far. Though I'm a bit undecided whether I like the multi-resolution topology or the remeshing and dynamic topology better. The point is, if I'm now using a brush right over there, and I'm using the stylus right here, then I can put some creases and depths into this ball. I'll see here what it does. And the point is, the number of points in the mesh doesn't change that way. When we're looking at this one. Let's say, okay, we enable dynamic topology, then the multi-resolution will be removed. So, okay, like that. But I can zoom in, and if I'm activating flat submission, detail, enabled, yeah, whatever. So that should add more geometry as I work on the surface, just like, well, if you've seen a similar tool in Blender, you know the idea. So that's nice. What I found really useful is the layer idea over here. Everything right now in the scene will be just added on top of the this sphere over here. If I'm just adding a layer like this, then every other change I do subsequent to this to the addition of the layer will also be added, and I can undo this pretty easily. I can switch between the display of my recent changes of this strange ball, whatever this is, and the previous state just by clicking on the eye icon like that. See? This is pretty awesome, and it doesn't always, it does not solely or simply or only work for the changes I did with the with this tool, but also it works also for painting on the object itself. Or it also works when painting on the object itself. And now when I switch to the layer over here and I say, okay, I would like to paint on the object, let's take some green for contrast reasons, and then I paint on the object itself. And now I can deactivate this layer and the color will be removed also. And not only the color, but also the material. So I can go there and say, okay, we will have another material for this, just like that. And right now I'm painting a new material on these faces over here. And if I switch off, no, I was on the base layer, sorry. But this will also be in the active layer right now, and if I switch that off, then only the base layer will be displayed. So I'm pretty amazed by this very new app. It's just a month old or something like that. And I guess I'll be trying to use this as a, well, maybe modeling maquettes for creating some comic or something like that. There are still 4 pages missing in my science fiction online webcomic. I really got to finish that one. But so far, well, let's say this could come in handy when finally accomplishing this task. And apart from that, it's also a very nice toy. Like it. Good. Okay. Then I will. I guess I need to optimize this layout also. But well, this is a work in progress. I guess this will improve over time. And well, thanks for your attention, and I hope this was helpful in some way to you. Okay. Good. Now I think I'll be ending the stream, and well, though it's pretty dark here, I think I'll go and run a bit around in the forest, jogging with a lamp. Well,